I don't know about you, but to me, nothing screams holiday season like seeing a couple of miserably married people. This is 40. So This is 40 is another Judd Apatow comedy. I'd call it more of a dramedy. And it's Paul Rudd and the chick who plays his wife, whose name I can't even remember right now. And they're married and they're 40 and now this is life. I really don't need to give much more of a description than that because that's what the movie is about. It's about a couple of people who just turned 40 and it's their life, their marriage, their life with their kids, their jobs, their money, their financial situations, all the things that make married couples fight and be miserable we get to see in this movie. Of no surprise to my subscribers, I usually knock marriage and I give marriage a hard time. I should say go watch This Is 40 because This Is 40 will show you exactly why. It is a very realistic take on marriage. You know, these two people are married and they fight. They don't look happy. I get what he's trying to do and I respect what he's trying to do. I personally think that Judd Apatow is trying to win an Oscar, or at least to make a comedy that's more than just a comedy. He wants to make them, sections of life itself. But in This Is 40, he might have gone a little too far. Bummer is, when you're dealing with a married couple, sometimes it's just uncomfortable to watch something that real. Now, Paul Rudd and the chick who plays his wife, whose name I can't remember at all, they do a really good job. They have good chemistry as a married couple. There's sometimes where they're small talking, like you saw in the trailer, and she's like, oh, how would you kill me if you could kill me? And Paul Rudd's like, oh, I'd kill you this way. And then she's like, oh, I'd kill you this way. It was cool. It was cool to see. Married couples should talk about how they would kill each other because they all think about it. Communication, trust, key in any relationship. I learned that from Dawn of the Dead. But then they're screaming at each other and they're pissed at each other and they hate each other and you're just like, this is way too real, too uncomfortable to watch. All right, it was kind of cute before when you were talking about killing each other. Ever been to your friend's house and he and his wife are arguing or fighting and you're like, it's just uncomfortable in the air right now. It's like that, but you can't leave. You're there. You're stuck with it. The movie had funny parts. My favorite part was Melissa McCarthy. She's not in the movie much, but when she is, she's just going off and you're like, are you ad-libbing right now? Funniest part in the entire movie is the end credits scene and it just shows Melissa McCarthy ad-libbing. Funny thing is most of what she said they actually used in the movie, but you see Paul Rudd and the chick who plays his wife, who again, I can't remember her name, and it shows how they're reacting and they're just dying. They're laughing their asses off, which makes you laugh your ass off. It's that perpetual cycle of comedy and laughter and you're laughing and you're having a good time. You're like, cool, that happened. I'm glad this movie gave me that in the end credits. This is what I think is happening with Judd Apatow movies. At a point, he was like, oh, I'm gonna make a comedy and put a little bit of heart in it. It's gonna work and it's gonna be great. In the next movie, I'm gonna put a little bit more drama in it and the next one a little more. And now he's like a painter who starts out with some abstract splats and then he just starts losing his mind and going nuts and splattering the canvas. That is what Judd Apatow is doing with his movies with drama. A lot more drama than comedy, and you don't really know what the point of the movie is. There's no thing that's like, okay, this is the point and we're going to reach that point. It's going to be resolved. However, of the people who do their job well in the movie, there is one I have to commend. That is Megan Fox. She's in this movie to contribute nothing other than to have someone to look at. Oh yeah, she's totally hot. She's way hot. And I hate the fact that I think she's hot. My higher brain function is like, dude, don't be stupid. My genetics are like, oh yeah, totally hot. She's not talented. She was fired by Michael Bay. Michael Bay said, no, you're not good enough to be in my shit. Think about that. Of all the collaborations that have gone on in the world, you gotta admit, a pretty good collaboration that did happen in our lifetime was God making Megan Fox and Dr. 90210 going, yeah, I'll tweak her a bit. Good going, you two. Not bad. In the end, This Is 40 has good actors doing their part with the content. They have good timing, but the movie's too long. It doesn't really have a point. It's just uncomfortable in parts. I will say This Is 40 is a good time if you're drunk. Yeah, now it's a party single life. I'm so lonely. And remember, there are two kinds of guys in life. Guys who would totally have crazy animalistic sex with Megan Fox and guys who totally would have crazy animalistic sex with Megan Fox but won't admit it because their girlfriends or wives are in the room. And if you comment below, no, she's totally ugly, that's just because your girlfriend or wife has access to your YouTube account. So you need to comment like that to make her think that you actually believe it, but you don't. Alright, so for you, what is the most uncomfortable dramedy? Those comedies that are dramas and you have the couple that fights and you're like, that's just not fun to sit through. Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.